Looks like my spider friend is still here and nice and cozy. That's great to know.
Jello! Today I am doing some fluids on my 97 Miata. I know a couple of times in the past I've said I'm working on my wagon, but parts are being shipped, so can't control shipment processes and everything, so I'm going to do what I can to my Miata. I bought this in October from the previous owner who used it mainly for autocross. I have not done an oil change, tranny fluid, or the diff fluid since I've had this, so I figured why not do it because I don't know when he did them last. It's fairly basic maintenance, but it is maintenance that should be done periodically. Typically the tranny fluid is every 30,000 as well as the diff. And then oil, it depends on how much you use it. Oil is kind of like up in the air for me. With my wagon, I change it after 1 or 2 events on track, as well as like daily the car. So it gets quite a bit of mileage on each oil change. As far as the Miata, again, I haven't done it yet, so I'm not sure exactly my time period of when I'm going to start to do them. And I'm also hoping to start to take this out to track soon. We are open on Saturdays and Sundays here at U-Rent, so it's kind of hard to get away to do any sort of events. But now that we have a little helper, Reed, we might be able to get away in the near future. I do know in September, I've got a track event locked down at Indy Motorsports. That's kind of a surprise for you guys, so come September time, it's going to be a nice, awesome video all about that track event. For right now, she's mainly just a parked car. Being that I don't know what's been done to it in the past or most recently before I bought it, I'm just going to go ahead and renew all the fluids. It wouldn't hurt it. Yeah, so today, tranny fluid, diff fluid, and oil change. Let's get started. First things first, let's go ahead and drain all the fluids. Of course, when you're lifting any vehicle and you get it just a little bit off the ground, meaning the wheels or tires are off the ground, you want to give it a little rocker test to make sure that it's nice and even and it's not going to fall off. Looks good to me. Then you want to lower the vehicle onto the lock just so you know that it's nice and safe and it's locked in place. It's not going to go up or down unless you move it. Let's get underneath her.
I almost forgot, before doing an oil change, you want to take off your oil cap and then you want to pull your dipstick out just a little bit, not the full way. Yes, my dipstick is missing the little finger pulley handle thingy majigger, but I'm also going to check the oil just to see. Either way, I'm going to change it regardless of how it looks, but it's always good to check to see where you're sitting at before you do an oil change. Alright, so I'm going to pull dipstick out, wipe off your dipstick, clean it up, and then you were looking for these notches right here. It actually has it marked on this dipstick, which is really nice. Not all dipsticks have this, but this top line right here, that's full, and that's right where you want to be, is full. You don't want to be too much above that. When you do overfill, it helps with the turns and the oil sloshing around when you're on track. But since I'm not tracking this car anytime soon, I don't want to overfill it too much. Just want to be right at that line. So let's go ahead and put it back in and see where we're currently sitting at. Just get back in. You want to put it all the way down so you can get an accurate reading. Pull it out. And we're actually right at that full line, but the oil is pretty dark. It's pretty dirty looking. I'll wipe it off so you guys can see. But it's not terribly dark. It's not the worst I've seen. So this was the initial wipe. And here's after checking it, but it is on the darker side, and you don't want your oil that dark. You want it nice and light. So definitely could use an oil change. So like I said before, we're gonna put the dipstick almost all the way down. That way when we go to drain it, it's not blip, 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 blip or anything. It's just a nice smooth, even drain. So I'm gonna lift the car up and drain all the fluids. Also, I did have somebody comment on my filter, my intake filter. yeah, it was pretty bad. I don't have a picture of it. Maybe I can steal one from my last video because I sent it to O'Reilly so that they can match it for me. So thank you for that, for catching that. I, again, haven't done maintenance on this yet, so I was kind of ignoring all of it because, why not?
So, gonna drain the oil first. Want to loosen the bolt, drain plug, whatever you call it. Oh. That's bigger than a 7. Holy cow, that's bigger than a 17. Maybe it's a 19. Yep, it's 19. Alright. Oh my god! Okay, it's nice and loose now, so you can move the drain over. Shouldn't be too hot since it's sitting for a little. I'm gonna do my best to hold on to the bolt, but you don't need to. And just like that. She's a draining. All covered in oil. It's not a magnetic plug, so it won't catch any of, if there is any metal shavings, but it shouldn't be. It does have that crush washer on it, that copper crush washer. Normally you would want to replace them, but I actually already almost completely drained. So I'm gonna let this continue draining. The crush washer can be reused, but it's not good for it, but I don't have another one, so. So now that the oil's all drained, I'm gonna torque the drain plug to 25 foot-pounds. So little torque wrench here at the 25 mark. And I'm gonna wait for the clicky. No clicky. Reset. Alright, we're at 25 foot-pounds. So oil drain plug is good. I'm gonna drain the tranny and the diff now. And just like with the engine oil, you want to take off the filler plug. This is where you would put in the transmission oil, the new stuff. So you want to take it off completely, that way it's not doing the same thing with the oil. Let me see if I can get this on better. And it doesn't go blip, blip, blip. It's nice, smooth. Alright, I was able to loosen it off camera. It was not easy. But there shouldn't be any fluid that comes from this plug unless the transmission was over full or overfilled. Yeah. It doesn't look like it was terribly overfilled. Maybe just a little bit though. Although I don't know if you guys can see how, let's see. Pretty sure the fluid's not supposed to be quite that dark. It's pretty gray, blackish almost. So, good thing we're doing this. I don't like the color of it. Brandon's saying it's okay. It's probably done not too long ago is what he's saying, but I'm not a huge fan of that color. But if it's okay, it's okay. So I'm gonna get off the drain plug now, which is a huge bolt. It's a 24 millimeter, and I'm gonna let that just fall in because it won't get lost in the drain. So we'll let that drain and then we'll move on to the diff. Did not wipe my hands off before doing this. Oh, that's tightening. Lucy. No, my God. Why are you so freaking tight? Ugh. Oh, Jeebus!
How you doing? Peace be with you. Praise Jeebus.
Alright, I had to put hair up and get de-oiled. Going at this thing again. Oh my God. Brandon! I need to loosen it, I'm dying over here.
Okay.
I keep sliding off the bolt. It's not. It's a little loose. Then I get the rest. Alright. Help with Brandon. Be able to get it off. I just don't have the arm wrist strength. So one one tip I can give you guys, anytime you're draining any sort of fluid, you want to get your drain as high as it can go, so you don't drip fluid absolutely everywhere. This bolt I may or may not be able to hold on to. Nope, definitely dropped it. But yeah, nice pretty color, right? So letting that drain. Shouldn't take too long. Got a little baby transmission. Alright, so that's not all nice and drained. Go lower. 3E. Still kind of dripping, but it's not too bad. And you got the little plug right here. Oh, and it does have, it is magnetic. So you can see on the plug, my camera can focus, there are some little like metal shaving stuff, but it's not terrible. It's kind of like, yeah, there's gonna be some stuff in there. As long as it's not like chunks, then you're okay. But a little bit here and there, not bad. I'm gonna clean this off a little bit more, and I will torque it back on. And just like the oil drain plug, this one's got a crush washer on it. Unfortunately, we don't have any on hand, so I can't replace it. My transmission's not going to blow up because I didn't replace the crush washer. I don't think anyways. You also never want to put on a bolt with an impact. I'm wrong way. Alright, yeah, so you never want to put on a bolt with an impact. You can mess up the thread really easily with that. And you also want to make sure that you are keeping with the torque specs of your bolts, what they should be. Because if you over torque it, you can mess up the threads, and it's not good. If you under torque it, then it might just come off. Alright. Then on that, I'm not going to put the drain or the filler plug back on because I have to fill it. The cool thing is that the diff is the same size, 24 millimeter. So same steps with the diff. You want to loosen the filler plug, and it's, yeah. Oh my god. Alright. In case you're wondering, yes, I grew 4 arms. Okay, so this is just the fill plug. So again, unless it's over full, it shouldn't have any leaks. And it's a little leak. We're gonna lift this guy up. Loosen the ring. Oh my god! Oh my god! Yep, nope. You know what? We're gonna let you leave on the floor. I don't really care anymore. I gotta clean up this day anyways. So don't do what I just did. You want to get yourself some strength. And unfortunately I'm not capable of that. Yep. I'm gonna get Brandon. And Brandon's here. Oh god. Alright. Same thing with this crush washer. Don't have another one. Probably should change it, but do as I say, not as I do.
So clean it off, put it back on, torque it down. And we're gonna torque this drain bolt the same foot-pounds as the tranny, which was 33. Got my torque wrench here at 33 foot-pounds. So one clickety, I'm gonna do one more. Alright, clickety clackety. All fluids are drained, so now just to fill the diff, tranny, lower back down to fill the oil up. Good to go. So according to all data, the diff and tranny both take about 2 quarts of the 75W90 gear oil. So I got 3 for each just to be safe, and just in case I need a little bit more. I'm going to use this injector thingy-majigger to start to inject the fluid into the fill hole. And once I see it start to drip a little bit or drain or come out a little bit from the hole itself, that means it's full. So this is a fairly messy job. Definitely recommend you be prepared for a mess. And you just keep filling until it starts to leak a little bit. Okay.
Yeah, I would do a little bit more. You can
I've
also
only done one so far.
Huh?
I've only done one so far.
It doesn't take more than one.
No, it takes 2.
No, the transmission.
No, they both. I checked them both. They both take the same amount.
Sure.
Yep. It said 2! Oh. Ah, no! I made a mistake!
What you do?
So I was pouring what was left over from the first one into another one,
I
and
didn't realize that not all of the Volvo will fit in.
I realize that now! So apparently I looked up the wrong information. The diff takes 2 pints, which is 1 liter. The tranny takes 2 quarts? I don't remember. Anyways, but so this should only take 1. And apparently it's not a drip when it's over full, it's a constant stream. That means it's over, or not over full, but it's full. So when I see a constant stream of gear oil coming from the fill plug, then that means it's full. Alright, there we go. Constant stream. I might have overfilled it quite a bit. I'm going to torque the fill plug. I'm going to hit it with some brake clean it up a little bit, and then tranny will be next. So this is why I got my misinformation earlier. So right here it says 75W90 for the diff fluid, and it says 2 liters, right, for 97 Miata, which is incorrect. My Miata is a 96, so we go over here, change the vehicle to a 96, specifications, fluid type and capacities, fluid for the differential, and then this is what Brandon brought up, because it's actually a 96, not a 97. So that is why I was incorrect. It doesn't take 2 liters for the tranny and the diff. So it takes 1 liter for the diff on my Miata, and it takes 4.2 pints, which is 2 liters for the transmission. So I was incorrect. They don't take the same amount, but oh well, just means I ordered a little bit too much gear oil, which why not have it on hand when you need it? I will say though, I think I got the wrong viscosity. Yeah, it's 80-90, but 75W90 and 80-90 aren't that much different. It's not going to be a noticeable difference, so it'll be fine. That is why you do your due diligence though, and make sure that you look up the right year of your vehicle. I do that all the time. I get them mixed up. I don't know why. I think my Miata, I want it to be close to my year because I was born in 97, so that's why I always think it's a 97. It's right there. And then my wagon is a 91, and I always think it's a 90. I don't know why. But back to it. Alright, we're on to the transmission. Same exact process as the diff. Just going to suck it into the injector thing. It should take about a little over 2 of these, what is this gear oil things? I'm on the wrong side.
you put it into the fill hole, and when it has a constant flow, means it's good. Oh my god, find the hole first. That's what she said. Okay, maybe if we go... No, it's not long enough. That's also what she said. Go into the hole. Okay. So again, fairly easy service that pretty much anybody can do. Of course, a lift makes it that much easier, but can be done in your driveway. Almost to the bottom of this bottle already. For this one, I will open up the second bottle. About done with the second bottle now. So I'll need just a little bit more. Alright, there's our constant flow. So we get our little square bolt guy. I'll go look up the torque specs for this guy and then almost done. And we're torquing the fill bolt to about 18 foot-pounds. I had to find a 12-point socket because it is a square. Alright, 18 isn't very tight, so I'm going to spray this to break the thing up a little bit, and I'll put the oil in the motor. I'll be done. One pretty important thing I completely forgot to do, get the old oil filter off, which is of course above a motor mount, so if it leaks any, which it shouldn't, but it's going to leak all over everything, so I'm going to have to clean it up really well. So I'm going to try and figure out how to get an oil filter wrench into there and twist it off. Oh, I see it, it's going. Thank you.
Holy fuck.
Well, you know, when you don't have long enough arms. Another thing you want to do with your new filter, you want to put some oil around the gasket, around the edge, just so it can seal up nice and firm like. Let's see if my tiny arms. I have such short arms, I don't know if I can get it. Alright, new filter's on, pretty tight. Not too tight, but tight enough where it won't cause a leak. Now I can put the oil on the top. It's time to pour the oil in. Takes about 4 quarts, 5-quart jug. Shouldn't take it all, but it's heavy. Next step, you start it up. On some cars, it'll have the red oil light. You wait for that to disappear, and then you turn it off, and then you check the oil. On my Miata, it's got the oil temp. So I'm going to start it up so we can see until the oil temp goes up. Alright, that's good. And then you shut it off. Yeah, so it's just when it's full, you want it at the full line. So I'm going to put the rest of the oil in. Probably good right there. So it is kind of hard to see. I did slightly overfill it, but not the end of the world. So I'm going to put the dipstick back on. Or in, I should say, I guess. Dipstick back in. And then I just got a new intake, so I'm going to install that. Our intake filter. Alright. I'm able to get it on. And that's how you do an oil change, transmission flush, and differential flush. So all pretty basic maintenance items, but do eventually need to be done at some point or another. It's all good to go now. Should be a little bit better of a drive. Really should notice the difference though, because the transmission and the diff fluid weren't that bad. and the oil wasn't terribly dirty or low. So again, probably won't notice too much of a difference when I'm driving it, but if the transmission fluid or diff fluid were a lot worse, or the oil was a lot worse, or if there's metal shavings in any of them, of course, after doing the flushes, you would have noticed a big difference. So if you're having some issues with shifting and stuff like that, double check and see the last time you did a transmission flush, because it could be that you just need to renew the fluid that's in the train. And you may notice a big difference, you may not, depending on what's actually wrong with your transmission. So that's just how you do the very basic fluid flushes and oil change. Hopefully this helped you guys in some way or brought you some form of entertainment. All of my struggles, as I always have in every one of my videos. But this one's all good to go for the next 30,000 miles. So I'll catch you guys next time.